many fun times. I mean, definitely we had a few years. We spent a lot of time down in Venice Beach. Good time. Circles and whatnot. Some secrets there. Always. Yeah, we missed and remembered forever, for sure. Good person, good friend.
Could you guys speak loudly too? Because I'm taking a video for his mom back in Illinois. Her name's Tammy. She just wanted me to tell all you guys tonight that she loves you guys and she thanks you guys so much for being here. And that the memory of her son is something that's very important to a lot of people. There's a lot of people out in Illinois right now that are going to be watching through all these videos, photos, everything I take. You know, Keegan was a very, very special person to a lot of us. Like, I met him when I was like 18 or 19. You know, he went AWOL from the Marine Corps for smoking weed after he got a DUI with Roger.
He was my roommate.
You know. Yeah, he told me that he was really stoked on the Marine Corps, and he went into the Marine Corps to get away from Illinois, you know, and he liked it until that happened because he just felt like they kind of turned their backs on him, started treating him differently. Keegan was about love, respect, loyalty, honor. He was like one of the only people I've ever met in my life that didn't believe in stealing, lying, just like me. Don't get me wrong, you know, if you fucked him over, he'd fuck you over back. Because that's just how he was. He stood up for himself, you know. I remember him most in a pair of pajamas with some dreadlocks. With like 9 huge bags of weed, of like the dankest shit I've ever seen in my life. And usually a bag full of everything else. Yeah.
There's homemade neck straps.
He would never stop.
You know, Keegan seemed to always be bringing people together. You know, like tonight, he brought all of you together. And all of you, I'm sure, have a million stories about him. And I hope that you will tell them. You know, I know that Keegan was my best friend I've ever had in my life. Personally. Like, I respected the guy and loved the guy in a way that I never loved anybody that I've ever known. He was better to me than most people I've ever met. You know, like he spent a lot of nights crashed out on my couch. You know, or after a while I just had an extra bed for him everywhere I went. Door was always open. He was a free spirit. And I'm sure he crashed on most of y'all's couches at one time. You know.
That loud ass snore.
Whether you let him or not. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, one thing I hear a lot of people say is that he was always cracking jokes, trying to make people smile. He was always trying to make people smile. You know, like, way back in the day, like, I swear I took my first mushroom trip with Keegan. You know, that was fucking crazy. I remember a couple times, you know, and like, you know, it just seemed like Keegan was one of those people who was a bright, burning star, you know, and he was a rock star, you know, and that's something that I say a lot now. Is, you know, he may not have done music or anything like that necessarily, but he was still an artist, you know. Like, Keegan's life was poetry, if you ask me. Like, he was always searching for love, you know, and though he was looking for a different kind of love, like, he wanted the family, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to get the girl and settle down, you know. And I think, like, in the end, he was really depressed, and he felt like he wasn't going to find it, you know. But I guess I hope that in death, I hope he can see us now, and I hope that he realizes how many people really did love him, how many lives he affected, because I don't know about you guys, but he brought all of me and my friends up, you know. Like, Keegan took making money and having fun to a whole new level, you know.
Always, you always had to do everything bigger and better.
He was the one to take things to a new level.
He was so colorful. It's like that picture in there, that poster, like, perfect, you know, his lion, his long hair, his fedora, you know what I'm saying, like his drink. And Keegan was colorful. He was a really colorful person, you know, and I hope that he's smiling down on us. I hope that there's is a heaven out there, and I hope that he's there. I hope he's smoking the fattest blunts in the world right now with all the rock stars that I always wished I could hang out with. You know, and I just want to say that I love Keegan very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm always going to miss him, but I'm never going to forget him, that's for sure.
My name is Roger. Me and Keegan came to California together in October 2002. We were in the Marine Corps. We went to our schools together out in 29 Palms. We took a bus out here and ended up on Camp Pendleton. I know his mother pretty well. She one time Keegan flew his mom out to visit us when we got to our duty station, and his mom walked in our hotel room. I was banging this chick on the bed, and she said to me, she's like, "Well, if you've seen one, you've seen them all." She's like, "Don't worry, you're like my son." And I was like, well, "Thank you, Tammy." Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it like broke the ice real quick.
Step out now?
No, I didn't even stop. She walked in, walked out. It was cool. I mean, I got my first DUI, making sure he got to work on time. I blew a .04. I mean, it wasn't anything, but the only thing holding him up was his seatbelt, and he even had an empty bottle in between his legs in the car. I mean, he's lived at my house. We've gotten fist fights together. Like, he was my best friend. Like, I've never lost anybody as close as he was with me. We were 8 days apart, as far as our age, and both Leos. Me and Keegan, we didn't have to talk to each other. We can have conversations. Like, we were connected like that.
Amen.
And I spoke to his mom after I found out what happened. And she's like, "Roger, you gotta come. You gotta come." She's like, "I need you here." And I was like, I told her I can come. And then I found out, I really went over my schedule, and I had prior obligations and promises and commitments I had through school and whatnot. And a bunch of tests just so happened to be that Tuesday. So I told his mom, I was like, "Hey, Tammy," I was like, "if anybody needs to go out there, we gotta get Jesse out there." And I gave her Jesse's number.
Thank God.
And I don't know how they did it, but they got him his ticket, and they fucking flew him out there. And I just told her, Jesse, man, I was like, just tell him I love him when you see him. And, send the family my regards. And right before Christmas, I'll be flying out to Illinois to see his mom, because she just wants to hear stories. And I have thousands of them for her, so that's all I got, and I love that kid. That's it.
Yeah, I went to the funeral, and I saw everything that was going on. I met all those people, I got all their numbers. I got pictures if anybody wants to see them tonight. I didn't want to go around showing everybody, but I do have a picture of Keegan's ceremony and of Keegan, So if you want to see those, you can hit me up. And, his mom is an amazing person. I was blown away. His two little brothers, Ryan and Alex, are incredible kids. Very, very smart. Good kids. He was starting a new life out there. Like, Keegan was going legitimate. He bought a store called the Resale Stop. They went to real estate sales, estate sales. They'd buy up furniture and they'd sell it out of the store. Yep. Couches and recliners and all that.
Of course he did.
He was doing really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing really good. Like, he was at home where he wanted to be, living a better life because of the people that he met in California. He was able to come out here and take a little bit of it back. He was able to introduce it to all those people out there. And a lot of them want to come out here and see all you guys at some point. So,
Yeah, one more thing, that Keegan, he didn't do all the stuff he was doing for himself. He did it for everybody else. He was a very selfless person, and he was just trying to take care of his family. When he was out here, just like whoever was with us, whenever they were with us, like me or him, we just took care of it and didn't care. We just wanted everybody to be happy all the time. So he was a fucking awesome dude.
Thomas. I've known Kellogg for a long time. Keegan. And I was young when I met him. I met Kellogg and I met Roger. We were well, there's a group of stories you can put with him because there's so many of them. But He helped me out a lot. I was just sitting there being a kid, you know, got into the game with him, and all the time, like every time, it wouldn't matter. He was such a nice guy. Every time he'd sit there and I had no money or nothing like that, and he'd say, "Here you go, bro," and fucking hook me up with a fat ass bag, you know, and I'd be like, "All right, cool," and he's just like, "Make the money." Bam, for there on that happened the first time, and rode with him for a couple years and stuff, doing that stuff for him, and never betrayed him, never did nothing like that. I always kept true to him, and I never went anywhere else. It was crazy. I always stayed with him, and yeah, he I don't know. There's a grip of stuff I went through with him, and we all miss him. And there was a shit. You want to take stories? I want to tell a funny story.
Go for it, bro.
This is what he said one time. One time, like, we meet up, right? We're doing our thing, and I'm chugging a Bud Light, right? And I'm putting it down, talking, and then you know, Keegan, he's all sitting there talking and just saying, "Oh, you can chug any beer, yeah, da 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 da." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can chug any beer." So we had this little bet. This is back when Jonesy and you guys had your place on Myers Street, and he was like, we go to the Wisconsin market, and he's like, "Any beer?" I'm like, "Any beer." And he's like, "I bet you." I was like, "Okay." So he gets this freaking this big ass Russian chocolate oatmeal stout fucking